This is the Bank Nifty daily charts. Red candle, almost an engulfing candle. So Bank Nifty is giving some signs of it looking slightly weaker. Today the market stayed flat through the day and around 215 itself made a slight downwards move. Now, yesterday the market was giving mixed signals, right? Constantly looking at uptrends, downtrends, and was breaking both. Essentially stayed range bound. And our plan for today was the highs and lows of yesterday are going to be levels with which, if the Bank Nifty crosses, we might see trending markets going up or down. Today the market opened up 41,234. Yesterday it closed 41,238. Straddle closed at 1055, and today the straddle opened up slightly higher just for a few minutes at 1117. But it quickly came down by about 9:30 or so. So I guess that was just a freak incident in the morning. Um, so since the first few hours of the morning, what we were waiting to do was just get a sense of whether this zone or this zone will crack. And since it didn't, essentially we didn't do anything in the first half of the day. Around 12:30, the European markets opened up. They were looking slightly weak. So we ended up selling a couple of calls at I think 42,500 or so. Again, one of the things that we were noticing is there's a considerable difference in the IVs in the strike prices between the calls and the puts. The IVs on the call side are much higher than the put side. Yesterday, I think it was the market closed 24.25 on the call side and 17.18 on the put side at the end. And today was very similar days as well. Today, the calls ended up at 28 IVs and puts were at around 19. So when this move happened around 2:15, what we ended up doing was buying back the puts as the market was coming down and pushing them into the calls. Reason being is the market's looking slightly weak, like I said. If I look at the 1 hour chart, um, this trend is definitely looking like it's broken. But on the 1 hour chart, if you can see clearly that we get a sign that the Bank Nifty is looking slightly weak. So we've got a trend that's going like this. So that's one of the reasons why when this red candle came, even though it didn't actually break this zone, um, what we ended up doing was moving our puts to calls because premiums over there were much higher. So we could write further away and get the same amounts of premium. So that's been our strategy for this week. Now, plan for tomorrow is relatively the same, right? It hasn't broken yesterday's high. It just broke yesterday's low at only the last candle of the day. So we're keeping a close eye on this aspect. But since there is a trend line, we want to see what happens at the zones over here. So the 40,800, 40,700 levels are going to be critical in the morning. So if it opens up flat or opens up slightly up, does it come down, test this, and then see some action? Or does it come to the trend line and break it and go up, or get rejected from here and come down? So that's kind of what we're going to wait and watch and see. Now we have a slightly neutral to, we have maybe plus 1% delta, but that's basically neutral. And we're looking at the price action and the movement during these two things in the morning to start building positions, adding to what can happen so that we can end our week in profit.